Biostatistics isn't the sexiest profession, but few of us would argue about its usefulness and necessity. Without biostatisticians, researchers would be forced to interpret their results by themselves, and believe me, things would start to get pretty weird. Recent research has suggested that the pool of biostatisticians is rapidly shrinking. Fewer and fewer people are entering the field, and this has some pretty drastic consequences. In 2014, for example, there were 10% fewer t-tests performed than in any other year in the past decade. And for fans of categorical variables, the situation is even worse. There were less chi-square tests performed in total in the past 5 years than in the 1 year prior to that. And even the statistics I just quoted are completely unverifiable because of the aforementioned personnel shortages. But what's the cause of this problem? Well, a study out of the French Organization for Occupational Livelihoods in Statistics suggests that there are fewer young nerds now than there have been in the past 50 years. But let's take a step back. I grew up a nerd, but for those of you unfamiliar with nerd culture, nerds are a critical resource that supplies the pipeline to biostatistical careers. Nerds spend their high school days writing computer code, watching Star Trek, and playing Dungeons and Dragons. And these are essential skills that have direct applicability to modern statistical science with its inverse tachyon pulsing and bag-of-holding modeling. Where have all the nerds gone? Well, according to the aforementioned study, nerds are cool now. Smart kids who would formerly be relegated to their bedrooms learning about life through a computer screen are getting out of the house, seeing the sun, and making friends. The success of nerds like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Tina Fey is hardly helping matters. Today's young nerds think they can conquer the world, and this leads to dangerous levels of self-confidence and even to the development of charisma. Today's would-be nerds are starting businesses, winning poker tournaments, and even dating people. Now, as a nerd, I can tell you that this is a crisis. The authors of the aforementioned report stop short of giving any specific recommendations, but I think the following actions are immediately necessary. Number 1, bring back Firefly. That show was awesome. Number 2, let's stop calling cute guys and girls who wear glasses nerds. You're not a nerd, okay? Not unless you know what Magic the Gathering is. And finally, and most importantly, let's give biostatisticians the respect they deserve, and that's both in the office and on the live-action role-playing battlefield. From MedPage Today, I'm Perry Wilson.